guys, now we're back with our trusty UDRs. Now if you've had one of these for a little while, you may notice that the steering tends to lose its responsiveness. This is something we've certainly noticed. If you've watched our videos, the blue truck which we run, which is the newer truck, definitely has more responsive steering. The orange truck, which is generally what I run, doesn't quite have quite as much lock, although the rates and the endpoints are all adjusted correctly. So in this video, we're going to have a look and see if we can ascertain what the problems are. This is what I think the problem is. I think it's the bell cranks in the steering on the truck. I think they have actually got too much play in them. So what we've got some GPM alloy steering parts. We got them, I think they came from Banggood or somewhere. They weren't too expensive, about £20. But we're going to put them on the truck and see if it makes any difference. We do have some other steering parts to try, but we're going to try one part at a time to see if it makes a difference. So our first step is actually going to be to remove the front end of the truck so we can get to the steering. I won't show you how to do it in this video because we did actually show you how to do that in one of our other videos, so you can look back to that. So here we have the front end stripped off. It's literally as it's come off the truck. As you can see, it does need a bit of a clean, but we're going to look at the steering on this one. So first of all, I can see that the plastic arms do have a slight kink in them. They are slightly bent, but I don't think that's the problem. I don't know if you can see on camera, but there is a lot of a wiggle in that. If I try and move the steering, again, you may not be able to see it on camera, but these just, they move probably 5mm, nearly 10mm in some instances. There's just so much flex in them. So I think what we'll do, we will put this GPM steering on it and see what difference it makes. So first things first, let's get this old steering system off. We've got two 2.5mm head. And of course it doesn't come off very easily with the centre prop shaft on it, or the front prop shaft on. But I'm just going to turn it over. I'll take off the steering arm turnbuckles, well not turnbuckles, steering arms, and see if we can just get it off. So we've just undone the steering track rods, and I have actually took the front diff out just so you can see a little bit easier how this is actually going to work. I'm going to just re-grease it anyway while it's out. It's a good time just to give that a quick bit of re-greasing. So this is a steering assembly. It just lifts off like that. You can see we've got a bearing top and bottom. We'll just take that bearing, or get that bearing off there, and we will just check the bearing. So we'll now put this on the bench and then compare it to the alloy one. So here we have the two different steering systems. I've just took the bearings out. We'll obviously have to put the bearings back into this one. The bearings all seem fine. I've just checked them, given them a little bit of a clean. So we've obviously got the spring assembly in here. Now, the springs look, well, they look like there's more coils on that one, so we'll see if there's a difference in tension. But you can adjust the tension on this one by just winding down that. So we'll make that perhaps a fraction tighter when we've actually put it in the car. So the first thing we need to do, we haven't actually got to take any more parts off this. We've just got to put the centre track rod, or the centre steering link, onto the GPM product. Now, as we're going metal into metal, I will just use a small amount of thread lock on here. So it's just a simple case of putting 2 screws into there. So as you can see, just line that up. Small amount of thread lock on there. So we've come across a bit of a problem with this product. So I've put on this centre track link here, and we've done it up, and I don't know if you can see, there's quite a bit of movement there, which is not acceptable. If you can see what the problem is, I'll just take this one out. Where the screw passes through here, there's quite a big gap. Now, I don't know if there's meant to be a bush or something in there, but there's certainly nothing with it. I've spoken to the supplier and they're not interested in sorting it out. So, all I can say is, don't buy this product. It's absolutely, well, it's rubbish. It's not fit for purpose. However, they're not interested in sorting it out, so we have come across a fix. We have actually manufactured a small bush, which is going to go in there. It's just a press fit into there. So we've actually already put the bush in this side, and we've screwed that up tight, and as if you can see, there is no movement in there. So it's not a fix that you should have to do, but it is a fix that we have done. So I'm just going to push this one into here, thread lock the screw into there, and then this part is nearly ready to go in the car. So we now have this all assembled. Here's the old one. I mean, they look pretty much the same, apart from this one's shiny and silver and metal, and obviously that one's plastic. The bearings are fitted in. That's now, with the bushes that we've made up, that is actually quite now snug and a good, nice, tight fit. But again, you shouldn't have to do that on a new product. So now we are going to put this back into the car and see how it looks. So it should just slide straight onto these towers. With this product, nothing would surprise me with the problems obviously we already had with it. That seems to go on there. Can't see any clearance issues. So we will then put the original cap head bolts back on it. So you want to tighten these down, make sure it does not impede the steering. So I would tighten it snug and then possibly just back it off a quarter of a turn. Got a big catch in there because the arms are down at full upwards movement as effectively, but that seems okay. So we'll now put these track rod links back on. So we've now got our steering links back on. Ironically, there wasn't enough of the countersunk screws. You'll have seen in the previous pictures there was only 3. We actually need 4 because you need 2 to go into here, into the centre rod, and 2 for there. So I'm now wondering whether there might be a pack of fixings missing with this steering setup. It might need those bushes. Might be another pack, but that's not our concern. You know, you should expect to have all the parts that you need for a product. So now we're going to put this back on the car and see what it looks like. So we've got the car back together, and I don't know if you can see, but there it is definitely, you can feel the steering is more precise with those aluminium parts in there, which you can see are down there. It does feel more precise. There's less play, there's less flex in that steering. So we're just going to get all the plates snapped back on. Yes, I've got to put the rear wheels back on the truck as well, and we will give it a run to see what it feels like. We'll definitely be able to tell whether it is better or not, but as I say, with the problems we've had with this part, I wouldn't recommend buying that particular brand, but it does give us an idea of whether an alloy steering upgrade is worth it or not. So we've got the steering back together on this, and we're going to see how it goes. It doesn't seem a lot different on here. Obviously we've got it sitting on a bit of a jump here, so it's perhaps not the best way to test it. But we're going to give it a go, see if it has made any improvements to the car, and we'll let you know in a minute. Two, one, go.
Can't keep the nose down.
Were you flat out? One, go.
I think I've got the edge. Oh, well, on the monster truck.
Yeah.
Not quite as bad as the X-Trax, I would say.
No. So guys, we forgot to do our usual summary video for the end of this one, but the steering upgrade has made a difference. I don't know if you can see it too well in the video, but it does make the steering more responsive, and we are now getting almost full lock. We have got a couple of other things we're going to change on it, which we'll come on to in another video. It's certainly a worthwhile upgrade, I think, for the UDR. Not perhaps the product that we went for, because obviously we had the problems we highlighted in the video. But hopefully that has been of interest. Please do like, share and subscribe, and we'll be back again soon.